It's weird. I've been playing Pokemon Go for some reason, and man, playing out
Probably
here,
Sadie.
yeah, it's all her fault. But yeah, dude, it's so much more fun out here in the city than it was in the suburbs.
Oh, of course.
Oh,
Of
it's
course.
just
There's
constant.
Pokestops everywhere.
Gyms, just random Pokemon. I
Yeah.
was just walking down the street, I caught a Gengar, just out of nowhere. It made no sense. It was in the middle of the day.
Pretty rare.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that's the original 150, right?
yeah. Mm-hmm,
That's the Haunter evolution, isn't it?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. See, I know.
Yeah.
I played one Pokemon game. That was
No.
Fire Red.
Yeah, you played the good
But
one.
I do want to play more of them. I really do. But there are so many games to play.
Yeah,
So
we have Violet and Scarlet coming out soon. That's
I thought you said Violent Scarlet.
no,
Yeah,
that's Pal World.
yeah.
That's like the Pokemon-esque game with like third-person shooting and shit. Have you seen that?
No.
You can make like sweatshop factories with like these random creatures, but you
Oh,
can also
Lord.
like make farms. But there's also like third-person shooting with guns. Yeah, Pal
That is
World.
ringing a bell. That is ringing a bell now. That is ringing a bell.
It was supposed to
Okay,
come out this
yeah.
year, but I think the developers tweeted out like, "Dude, we don't know if it's gonna be out.
Yeah.
We're just working our asses off, and we're gonna see where
Yeah.
that goes."
Yeah.
All right,
Gotcha.
cool, good opening. I think. I hope. I don't. Fuck. Whatever. Let's go into our weeks.
Sounds good to me. I'm enjoying this.
Let's go into our weeks.
Cool.
I'll go down mine first. Let's do that.
Do it.
So I have been playing Bloodborne. Cause
Awesome. Okay.
yeah, when Elden Ring came out, I kind of did what I think a lot of other people have been doing. I've been seeing a lot of people stream the Dark Souls game. I'm gonna beat
Oh, yeah.
every single Dark Souls game in the series after Elden Ring. So
Mhm.
I just jumped on that boat and went along with it. I beat 1 and 2. I mean 1 and 3. I gave up on 2. That game's kind of shitty.
Dark Souls 2?
Yeah, and then
I don't know much about it. I mean, I feel like the third one was the big one anyways.
yeah, the
Yeah.
third one had a lot of like quality of life stuff they added that made it so much more playable.
Right.
But Bloodborne and Sekiro were the last two on my list.
Okay.
That's gonna take some time because my reflexes are crappy now that I'm older. So those like rhythm-based games,
Yeah.
which I guess Sekiro is considered a rhythm-based game with a lot of
What?
people. Yeah, it's all about like timing, like to
Okay.
certain sword strikes.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people say it's kind of rhythm-y
Dark Souls
in
wasn't
a way.
like that. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So Bloodborne, I beat it 3 times in a weird masochist way. I've always loved the environments. The only thing I didn't like about it were there were no shields. There is like
Yeah, exactly.
which my whole setup in all these in Elden Ring or Dark Souls 1, 2, and
shield
3.
based?
Yeah, it was the
Okay.
Uchikatana and the smallest great shield you can get your hands on because I love the whole like
Interesting, okay.
yeah, managing your health,
Yeah.
your stamina, how much you're able to tank. And
That's cool.
I really love like when you first encounter a boss, you can use that shield to kind of give you a little leeway in learning their moves, so you're able to like dodge and do damage. Bloodborne
Yeah.
doesn't have any of that. It's just, dude, run
Oh,
in
shit.
there and just attack and dodge whenever you
Yeah.
can, I guess.
That's why my boy Aaron Hansen loves it.
Does he? I have no idea.
He's notorious for never using shields.
Oh, yeah.
You know Game Grumps, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ego Raptor.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, beat it 3 times. The third one was definitely my most fun run because I was doing way too much like minimaxing or micromanaging, whatever.
Yeah.
With like stats and stuff because like, dude, googling stuff about Dark Souls and builds and everything is like kind of hard for like
Yeah.
newbies
I
because
can imagine.
you'll be like, I was reading this one post. It was kind of like infuriating. There was this one dad. He was like, yeah, I got 2 kids. I have a full-time gig. I don't have much time to play video games, but I really like this Dark Souls game people have been talking about. What's like a basic build that I can do? And it's just
Yeah.
people with paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs of information. Like, there's no simplicity. People are so obsessed with these games that when like someone's like, how do
Yeah.
I get into it, they just can't help themselves but to be like, oh dude, you gotta level dex to 99, you gotta get a flail and enchant it with arcane like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. So once I like forgot about all of that and I understood the mechanics, I just leveled up my hunter axe and just raw damage. That was my favorite run of the game, just forgetting about all that micromanaging bullshit. And I can say,
yeah, that can bog down a gaming experience, I think.
Yeah.
When you're a little too hyper focused on like getting it perfect.
Yeah.
You know. Like it's fun to just let loose and play the game how you want to play it.
Mm-hmm.
And don't be so stressed, because you're stressing yourself out.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
A game should be fun. Like that's what games are. It's not to do a job and do. I mean, it can be, I guess, if that's what you want. But in my opinion, if you make the game into a job, you're stressing yourself out. So.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
That's an opinion.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Video games are fun. They're also horrible and bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bloodborne's good.
Cool.
Final Fantasy VII Intergrade, the intermission.
Mm-hmm.
I started up. I'm probably about halfway through. This makes me super excited for part 2 coming out next December. Not this December, next December.
Oh my god.
Because in
so long.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, I just want it all to be out.
But we're getting Final Fantasy 16 and 7 Part 2 both next year. So it's just going to be Final Fantasy overload.
They've got a lot to work on.
This makes me...
Is the first one on PC?
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta play it. I gotta add that to the list.
I don't know if it's on Steam. It might still be Epic exclusive. You know what? I think it came to Steam.
I'll check it out. I can't keep it straight, man. There's so much content.
There's too much. But this makes me excited for part 2 because in part 1 you have like a lot of the characters play very unique. Barrett is long range with a gun. Cloud is kind of an overall good pick with physical attacks and magic. Tifa's up close and personal. So when you have a cast of, I think there's like 8 characters in your party in Final Fantasy VII, it's like, how are you going to make all these unique? And how they did it with Yuffie was she can be up close and personal to build up an enemy stagger, but you can also throw your boomerang, and when the boomerang's thrown, she can use ninjutsu, which is kind of just a take on like a magic class.
Yeah, it sounds like Naruto.
Is that what it is? It's just
Naruto,
like use
ninjutsu. Yeah, ninjutsu. It's like mind stuff.
So
I think.
Like,
right?
does he actually like throw like?
I haven't seen Naruto. But
no, I haven't either.
It sounds like that's what you're describing. Yeah.
It's just she plays so unique, so it makes me like super excited to play as Sid and Vincent and Red 13 in the next game. But I haven't beaten it, so I'll get back to that later.
Got a lot on your plate.
Yeah, I played a little Enslaved Odyssey of the West. This is a 2010 Ninja Theory game. Ninja Theory known for Hellblade, DMC.
Yeah.
This game still totally holds up. Combat's simple, parkour's simple, you can't even die. So it's just kind of like a Zen game where you're going through these beautiful environments. And then lastly, I'll bring up... I've kind of been getting into mobile games, but these are like mobile ports of wonderful indie games. Yeah. So I'm not playing Bejeweled or whatever, Candy Crush. I'm playing Dicey Dungeons.
Yeah.
Have you heard?
No. Sorry, I was just thinking of a meme about mobile games. Sorry.
Which
continue.
One? Which one?
It's like a Breaking Bad thing, and Walter White. It's like Walter White is talking to one of the other guys, and he's like, "We're done cooking when I say we're done cooking." And it's like a Candy Crush thing because it's never gonna end. And I think it's because like meth. The meth was like blue meth. It was like
Oh
blue
yeah,
wrapped
yeah, yeah, yeah.
candy. So it's like, yeah,
I can't believe people are just
we're
so.
finished cooking when I see it.
It's such a mindless game.
Yeah,
I can't believe.
all those are. My grandma plays Bubble Witch. It's like you shoot bubbles and yeah,
That sounds like a mobile game.
is what it yeah. The
Uh,
mobile game I've
oh,
been playing
mhm.
is Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic.
Yo.
It's not really a mobile game. They just ported it to mobile.
Hmm.
And when COVID hit, I played that game like religiously, and I beat like the first three like sets of theme parks.
Yeah.
Because like I used to play the hell out of that game, and I never succeeded at like the objectives because they're all like finance based and like you have to have a successful park. I just like building the shit, like
Yeah. Yeah.
the
That's
park and the coasters, but
that's what I'm
now I
saying.
can actually achieve the goals because I'm an adult.
Yeah.
Like I can do that, so it's fun to actually complete it. But I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, no, you're not interrupting me. I'm talking up a storm. It's yeah, it's so like you can like obviously tell a mobile game when you see it,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
but having like a good indie game that is just like you could tell they put some love and care into porting it over to mobile. Like Dicey Dungeons is perfect. It's all about rolling dice, and it's with a fun presentation, and you're plugging your dice into certain attacks that have different effects,
Oh,
and
it's dice. Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
that's cool.
it was ported over perfectly. Also, for anybody who doesn't know, Papers, Please, made by Lucas Pope. It's about like
Haven't
uh,
heard of that one either.
it's hard to. I want to
It's cool.
summarize it super quick, but it's like it's you work
Yeah.
at you're an immigration inspector. So every day you'll get new rules like only people from this country are allowed in. So you have people come in, they give you their passport, and you need to check if they're from this country, and then you can either accept or deny them. But every day they add more and more rules.
Yeah.
But you need to go super fast to earn money so you can pay rent and like take care of your family and stuff. So it's a game from a few years
This
ago.
this harkens back to
What's
a
up?
point I made earlier about how games can be like jobs.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're literally just doing somebody's job.
Yeah,
But I can see how
go on.
that would be fun. I can see how that would be fun.
It was just ported over perfectly. It came out
Yeah, that's cool.
like last week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's like
When did the original come out, though?
2013 looks like.
Okay, okay.
But
That's
yeah.
like kind of when indie games started to really take off.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that, like Steam was like a new thing back then. Like that's a decade ago.
Don't say that out loud.
It feels like Steam has been around forever, but it hasn't. That's like and that was when I was in art school for my game art and animation degree.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like 2012 through 2014. Those are my school days. And yeah, indie games were just kind of hitting the scene pretty much. Steam was brand new, I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure. Um, yeah, and then they started to do all those bundles, and people were just buying games like crazy.
Yeah, I
I was
think
like the Wild West of indie games.
I think the early 2010s was when indie
Yeah,
games really started to refine
sure.
their their quality. I don't know, do those words go together?
Yeah,
But like I'm thinking
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
XBLA in 2008 for the 360, like Geometry Wars, Braid, Castle Crashers, games like those. Those are in the late
How
2000s.
Braid was?
Yeah.
Really?
Hmm.
Okay, I thought Braid was like 2011 or 2012 or something. Because
Two,
that was one of the first big ones, I think.
yeah,
For sure.
2009.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's old.
Almost as old as Avatar.
The movie? Oh my
Yeah, the
god.
movie.
I,
The James Cameron's Avatar. That movie is freaking over 10 years. Yeah, like, wait, 12,
I saw it in
14
high
years
school.
old?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 14. And they're finally doing the sequel. Or they did the
Yeah.
sequel.
Well, they've
Yeah.
just been. It's a huge hit in
We're
China.
going to get off the rails. We're going to get off the
Oh
rails.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. That's right. Okay, I'm
I
done.
should probably go over my week.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Go. You're weak. I've been talking up a storm.
I think about a week ago, I got Stray for PC. Which apparently, actually, it's really good on PlayStation because it has the the haptic feedback, or like what do you call it? The triggers pull back
Yeah,
basically.
it's haptic feedback.
Haptic, yeah. And because you're a cat in that game, so there's like a lot of pawing, and apparently it's like, oh, it's perfect. But I still really, really enjoyed it. I just finished it. I personally was pretty disappointed by the ending, actually.
Oh no.
Like, I mean, it's a good ending. Like, it's a cohesive ending. Like, it ties everything in. It's a fairly simple story. And it's a satisfying ending, but it's also like there's something about it that I won't spoil that isn't satisfying. It's like, oh, come on, really? We're gonna go through all that and then, oh man. But that's my opinion.
Does
Fantastic
Oh yeah.
game though. Fantastic game. I mean, right off the bat, the environments are gorgeous. Doesn't really feel like an indie game, even though technically I think it kind of is. Like it's a pretty small. Blue 12 is pretty small, right? I mean, it's like a small studio in southern France, I think. Which of course it's a French game. Like they're all beautiful. All those French games are beautiful.
And
Uh,
Annapurna, I think, published this game too,
yeah,
right?
right. Yeah. I don't know what else they've done though.
Who,
I,
Annapurna or
yeah,
Stray Developer?
no,
Oh,
Annapurna. I,
they did. Well, I mean, they published. They're kind of that whole Devolver Digital, like Seal quality.
okay,
So
yeah.
they're doing Thirsty Suitors, which is gonna be a dope game
Oh God, that
coming
sounds
out.
like um a dating simulator or something.
Kind of. It's like a
Is
dating
it?
simulator,
Yeah.
JRPG, rhythm,
Oh wow.
skateboarding game. It's gonna be crazy.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Annapurna.
I just
Go on.
no, you go.
Annapurna, Neon Whites, Artful Escape, 12 minutes. Just The
Okay.
Pathless, Unfinished Swan.
Haven't
So,
heard of any of those.
damn.
It
Yeah.
looks like Blue 12 has only done Stray, I think. I don't see anything
Mm.
else on their website at all. Or no, I'm on stray.com. Anyways, but yeah, the game really my kind of game, basically third person exploration adventure, fairly linear experience. It's basically yeah, I mean it's linear. It's like you go along exploring. I don't want to spoil anything
Yeah, does
because
it? I
I
mean,
don't want to.
it's like a chill Zen game. Like, there's not a lot of kill states,
Uh,
right?
uh, I guess you're right. No, I mean, well, there's a few.
Okay, all
There's
right.
a few.
We don't have to
There's
get
no
into.
combat. There's no combat. I
Okay.
mean, it's yeah. In that respect, it is very, for the most part, it's very zen. But there's a lot of exploration. There were definitely times in the game where I was pretty stressed just because of the conditions, or I was trying to find something that I found before that I couldn't find again, like an area of the environment.
Mm-hmm.
But the way the cat moves is just amazing. I mean, you feel like a real cat. Not that I'm a furry or anything.
when when
Um,
they put the
no.
backpack on, he's just hunched
Yeah.
over, like
Yeah.
slowly crawling. Like,
Yeah. Have you
yeah.
made it any further into the game, or you still? Yeah,
No.
you went to the FromSoft games
Yeah.
this week. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. It's on the back burner.
It's worth no, it's worth going back to for a bit. It'll I mean, it pulled me in instantly. Like I was like I think I finished it in a total of like 3 days maybe. I put 10 hours into it.
Mm-hmm.
About maybe a little less. Um
Is there like side content? Go back for it.
there's yeah, I mean there's like yeah. Yeah, I mean there's stuff non-related to the story that you can do in the game basically. And it's a lot of collecting stuff because it's heavy exploration.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're exploring these fairly small environments um yeah, to get little rewards that, aren't necessarily tied into the story, which are great. And I did some of those. And I think if you did more, it'd be about a 10-hour game, and if you did all of them, it'd probably be like a 15-hour game,
Oh, cool. Perfect length.
like max. Yeah. And it's $30 I think right now on Steam. And it'll probably drop
Yeah.
fairly quickly.
Yeah, indie games. If
Yeah.
you have
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like an indie game, honestly.
if you have PlayStation 5 Premium, it comes with it. Kind of
Mm,
like a Game Pass
yeah,
release. It's kind of the same thing.
sure. That makes sense.
So yeah, all PS5 owners.
So that's been pretty much my week. I mean, work wasn't too bad. I can't say much about it.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but my name is in the credits.
Nice.
Can say that. But yeah.
All right, but your
Um,
last weekend you did something pretty cool, and fun.
oh
Was it
yeah,
last weekend?
C2E
Yeah.
C2E2. That's
hmm
right. Yes.
Tell us about it.
I was thinking week. That wasn't the week.
Hmm.
uh, yeah. I mean, it was my third time there, I believe. Yeah, third time. Um, and ever since the first time, I've been saying like, I'm gonna do a cosplay. I'm gonna do a cosplay, and I just keep getting busy and
hmm
putting it off. Um, 'Cause it's a lot of work, like
Yeah.
cosplaying stuff. And the thing I want to do is like fairly involved. I mean, it's a lot of like EVA foam work, which involves like a heat gun and Dremel, like, and then painting it and like priming it and painting it, blah blah blah. Um, and sewing, not to mention sewing. So it's like it's a ton of work,
hmm
but I really want to do it. And the next one is in March, so I'm hoping to have my cosplay done by that point. But this year it was still amazing. Um, my favorite part is usually to go down the artist alley where it's basically, I don't know if you've been, but
No. No.
um, it's, oh man, it's awesome. The convention center is huge. Like the show floor is huge. It's like a gigantic, open space. There are two like there are two towers. Not a Lord of the Rings reference, but I
Uh,
guess it can be. Um, and these towers, it's like where the food courts are. Like you go up the tower,
mhm.
and they're not. They're like 2 stories tall, but you take these stairs up, and you just walk around one of these towers, and around every corner of the tower, it's like a square. You just keep seeing more of the show floor, and you go around. It's like, oh my God, this
Wow.
must be like 10 football fields worth of stuff. Like it's crazy.
So it's all like artist
Um,
booths,
yeah,
celebrities.
yeah.
Are there
Well,
like panels? Are there
yeah. Oh
shows?
yeah.
Okay.
This year we didn't do any panels because honestly it was kind of disappointing. Nothing like really popped out to us like, oh, we have to see that panel.
hmm
Usually we'll want to see like a voice actor panel where voice actors are reading silly lines from a movie or something like that.
hmm
Last year they did that. It's called Twisted Tunes. Like they had the voice of Winnie the Pooh reading like profane shit. Really funny.
uh,
Um, but yeah, we didn't do any panels. Basically, how the show floor is organized is there's like the artist alley, which is basically just artists renting out booths or
mhm.
tables and displaying all their work. It's just awesome. Mostly, digital art stuff. So that was great. I got a bunch of art that I can show you later.
Cool.
Uh, but yeah, and the rest of the show floor is like just anything and everything you'd be interested in buying as a fan of anime, games, or movies. Like all of it,
Cool.
pop
Like,
culture
are we
stuff.
talking like retro games,
Yeah. Yep.
anime box sets, and
Yeah.
I don't know, just any sort of merchandise,
Yeah, and actually, I
Funko
didn't
Pops?
realize it, but pretty much half of the whole show floor is like literal comic stuff, comic
Oh,
books,
cool.
which I didn't really explore the first 2 years just because I'm not really I've never been into comics really. I appreciate comics. I've just never I don't know. I was never able to get into them.
hmm
I was more just into video games and movies.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm with you.
but
Comics were always like a little
yeah,
too bare for me. I mean,
yeah,
they're great
yeah,
pieces of art, but
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, honestly, I preferred reading books, like,
Yeah.
and imagining it myself.
Yeah.
But they're cool, and there's a lot of that because it's called Comic Con.
Mm.
And then yeah, there's a whole row of booths where you can wait in line to see your favorite voice actor or actor. I think Rosario Dawson was there. She
Yep.
was pretty much the main one.
Mm.
Billy D. Williams was there. Young Princess Leia was there from
Oh,
Obi-Wan.
cool.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I was like, oh my God,
That's
she's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it was great. I got a lot of pictures with people cosplaying stuff. I got a Hilda from Link Between Worlds, which is a very beloved Zelda game on the DS.
Cool. Yeah.
I was excited about that one. But yeah, very great experience. I did almost lose my wallet, and that's a whole nother story. I mean, I did lose it actually at the very end of the con on the first night on
Mhm.
Saturday night. Um, I was at an art booth. I had a bunch of stuff in my hands. It must have fallen. Like, couldn't find it. Went to Lost and Found. No one had turned it in, so I went home without my wallet. And then
Damn.
I got a call in the morning at 10 a.m. saying that someone turned it in over the night. So
Nice.
I actually went back, got it. Um, One of the event staff workers actually gave me a free 3-day pass because they felt bad that I lost my wallet. I was like, because I was still trying to find it at that point, Saturday night, and she was
Uh-huh.
like, I mean, I'm gonna throw these away anyways, so here you go. Here's one. I'm like, oh, thank you so
Yo.
much. I appreciate it.
No,
So,
nothing was stolen, right?
no, no. In fact, I had a $50 bill in my wallet, and it was still there,
Yo, faith in humanity.
which is amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I said.
Awesome.
But anyways, yeah. Overall, it was great.
Cool.
Um,
Yeah, it's great hearing about conventions. They've always been in my periphery.
Dude,
I could have
you
always.
and me in March. You got to go.
I can.
It's great. It's worth going.
All right, I'm down.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Fuck it, I've never been. Totally
There you
down.
go.
Did you see Steep Bloom? Steep Bloom.
I didn't get to see him.
Damn.
I don't know if it's Bloom or Blum either, but yeah. I was gonna try and make a paper mache Amon mask. And I like a few nights before the con, I was trying to do it, and it wasn't hardening right, and it wasn't holding up structurally. I'm like, this doesn't look good. So I didn't have enough time to do that. So I was like, ah.
It's a thought that
And
counts.
it's like at least an hour waiting in those lines just to get something signed and have a brief conversation with
Damn.
the person. But we did wait in line to see the voice actor of Korra from Legend of Korra. I can't remember her name, but
I know of it.
one of my best friends who I went with, that's like Avatar: The Last Airbender is like his favorite thing ever. So he's like, we have to wait in line to see her. I'm like, actually, he didn't. We had to convince him to get in line because he's like, oh, it's an hour. It's gonna be a long time. I don't want to wait. But we were like, dude. And then once we were in line, he was really happy we
Yeah,
decided.
dude, I think that's the number one thing that has like got me to not go to cons. It's like hearing horror stories on these podcasts about, oh yeah, I had to wait 3 hours in line to play the Evil Within demo.
Well, that's
That's
a little
like-
extreme.
It's like, fuck me, Jesus
You don't
Christ.
have to do that though. That's not why the con is fun.
Okay.
The fun part is walking around the show floor, seeing a bunch of cool, like, art and toys and whatever collectibles, seeing people's cosplays. Like that's my favorite part. Is all the cosplay stuff. It always has been.
Cool, just the
And
people.
just hanging with friends. And there's a central area where everyone gathers to just rest and hang out. And there's a bunch of tables, and it's like a green area, and there's food, and it's great, man.
Rock
It's
on.
just great.
Yeah, I'm down to go.
And I don't think I saw one furry, which is weird. Usually you see
Yeah.
at least one furry in there.
Yeah, Chicago's
I might have just missed him.
Chicago's a big spot for that. They have
Yeah.
they have their own thing up in Rosemont, just north
Yeah.
north of the
ASEN.
city.
ASEN. Or, yeah, Anime Central.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I think there's more furries that go to that, probably. I don't know for sure, but I would guess that there are. But yeah.
I support.
What's next?
All right.
We don't want to get too in the weeds.
I mean, shit. We're only 36 minutes in.
Oh, all right.
We're not.
Cool.
Yeah,
Doing well?
I don't think we're rambling. I'm.
No, this is great so far.
Let's do it. Let's talk about news.
Ooh.
Let's talk about news. I'm trying to think if I should rattle off the stuff first or if I should leave that to the end. No.
Rattle, baby,
Yeah,
rattle.
let's rattle it. Let's do it.
Go through it.
All right. Action news. Bam. Just add a whole bunch of explosion sound effects. Everything that killed radio and made it unlistenable. Let's just add it. Throw that shit in there. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Beyond Good and Evil 2. It's been in development hell for 15 years, but there seems to be hope.
Damn.
On August 3rd, Sarah Arlenetto, whatever, who has worked at Volition and Blizzard in the past, tweeted that she has joined on as a lead writer.
Okay.
I think Ubisoft also tweeted that they are hiring. So it's like, you're hiring for designers now.
Okay.
Anyways, Evo took place from August 5th to the August 7th. Key takeaways being rollback is being added to P4 Ultimax, Samurai Showdown, and DBZ Fighters. Team Samurai was announced for KOF 15 DLC. Kimberly and Jury coming to Street Fighter 6, and Bridget's coming to Guilty Gear. There was also a tease for a new Tekken project, might be 8. People are speculating could be Tag Tournament 3. Who knows? But also, my big takeaway is that there was a teaser for a new Garu game. This is my favorite fighting game of all time, Garu Mark of the Wolves.
Yep.
It was just concept art, but I'm excited.
Hey, we can hope.
The Snitch, notorious leaker as of late, tweeted out, "Being afraid of the dark is what keeps most of us alive" on August 9th. Could this be a hint at a Alone in the Dark revival?
Who is this leaker?
The Snitch?
Okay, that's like his handle.
Yeah.
Or something.
So during
he's like a reliable leaker, or like
during Summer's Games Fest, he would just randomly tweet out like cryptic phrases, and they all ended up like coming true.
Okay.
Like he leaked the Pac-Man repack, which is a remake of Pac-Man World from '99. So like, if you can leak something like that, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
You might be legit.
Pac-Man World, was that like that side-scrolling Pac-Man game? No.
It's a platformer. It's for PlayStation 1.
Okay. Continue.
THQ Nordic acquired Alone in the Dark in 2018. I think the last we heard of that series was a really crappy multiplayer game that you weren't alone in, and it wasn't dark. So, we'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
And then, really quick rattling, Overwatch is removing loot boxes. Forspoken released an awful focus-tested trailer with cringe dialogue, which has spawned amazing memes if you've seen.
I've probably seen a few, but I actually watched that trailer earlier today.
Ooh,
again, just to laugh.
It's a little rough, right?
A little bit.
It's
also like the VO doesn't match up to the characters. Did you notice that too? Like,
what do you mean?
It's bad. Like the characters talking and what you're hearing them say isn't matching up with the way their mouth is moving.
Ew.
It doesn't match. It's like, what is happening?
Well, for anybody who doesn't know, Forspoken is going to be like this cool isekai game where this young black Brooklyn girl gets transported to this faraway fantasy place. It's made by the Final Fantasy 15 developers.
That I didn't know.
Yeah, she's like,
okay.
Yeah, it's you can tell just by looking at the world if you've played 15 before. It's a feeling, you know. Sure. But they released this like 30-second teaser trailer, and it is just the most cringe it's just generic cringe. I don't know how to put it. So you're wondering how I got here. Oh, I'm using magic. That's a thing I can do now. And I use my magic to fight a frickin' dragon. It's like,
it's a little cringy.
So the memes that have spawned are like somebody posts a picture of God of War, and they're like, yeah, that's me. I'm a Nordic god. I go around with my badass son, or you know.
That almost sounds like something that would work well in like a Spider-Man trailer where Spider-Man's talking. Mm-hmm. Like that could work, but for this game, it's like that's a weird choice. I don't know.
I do have a conspiracy that the marketing team did it on purpose, trying to get the memes going.
Just like Ugly Sonic in the original Sonic trailer might have been intentional.
Yeah, that's exactly it, to be honest.
Yeah, I still don't know if I fully buy that, but...
Yeah, who knows? And
We'll never know.
yeah, the last rattler I have is there was a 30-minute Splatoon 3 Direct yesterday. If you missed it, you can find it on YouTube. There's lots of cool customization options and a new like 3-player team multiplayer mode where it's just 3 colors splattered all over a
That's
map,
cool.
and it looks super dope. But the main news discussions we want to get into, let's start with multiverses.
Man.
Various sources, including GameStop, GameSpot, and IGN report Multiverses, a free-to-play 2D brawler based around the Warner Brothers universe, surpasses 10 million players in just 3 weeks across all platforms.
Yeah, it exploded. Is it only Warner Brothers characters though? I feel like there are more than. Maybe not though. I guess Shaggy and Scooby, like that's.
Anything owned by Warner Brothers.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
that's crazy.
It's
Nickelodeon stuff too, right? So are they owned by Warner Brothers? I thought SpongeBob was in it.
No, you're thinking of Nicktoons All-Star Brawl.
No, but I could have sworn SpongeBob was in this one though.
Nope.
Maybe not. I guess I'm wrong.
Are you thinking about Jake and Finn, Adventure Time?
Oh, are they in? Mm-hmm. Are they in the multiverses? Okay, maybe it's possible. But I know SpongeBob, like compared to him. So, yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming you're probably a huge Smash fan.
Yeah.
And I always have been. I've always been average to maybe slightly above average player.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat.
Nothing compared to the pros though. Not even close. But I don't know. Looks fun to me. It's basically a direct rip-off of Smash. I mean, yeah, they're not even subtle about it. Like, it's... this is Warner Brothers Smash, basically. And so, I think it's respectful to Smash. I think a lot of the critics out there might think it's, it's nothing compared to Smash. It's not,
Yeah.
It's not competitive, whatever, but, I think it's awesome.
I mean, you're really going up. I mean, Smash Brothers Ultimate in particular is such like a masterpiece at the genre that it created.
Well, let's not go that far. I mean, it's good. I don't know if if we're talking masterpiece, that's Melee, right? That's Melee. Come on. Oh, here we go.
Just side-eyeing you to hell.
Debate show.
I don't know.
I love Ultimate, but like when you're talking about pro like competition with Smash, Melee is like that's like the holy grail of Smash is Melee.
Yeah, I mean, if it's still popular to this day, like I get why people like it, but also
like people want to use their original GameCube controllers, like and
CRTs and shit.
No, I love Ultimate. It's great.
I just like Ultimate better. Melee is like I hate how in competitions.
Oh, it's terrible. It's a broken game.
Yeah, there's only like 4 or 5 viable characters. Like.
Yeah, pretty much, but
in Multiverses, I put about maybe like 4 or 5 hours into it the other day.
Oh, okay.
So
do you have a main?
Kind of. So for anybody who doesn't know, Multiverses is just a mishmash of all these Warner Brother characters. There's Iron Giant, Tasmanian Devil, Arya Stark, Batman, Steven Universe. It's just no consistency or it's not cohesive in like it's not like Smash Brothers.
Crossover.
Yeah, it's not like Smash Brothers, which is all video games. That's video game characters. That's it.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I played it. It's not Smash. It's better than like the Nicktoons All-Star Brawl thing. But Multiverses has this... it might just be because I love Smash Ultimate so much, but it just has this thing where your like hit stun is the same regardless of how high your percent is.
Oh.
It's super... Like, you get sent farther when you get like a smash attack. When you get smash attacks, you'll fly farther. But your recovery time... your recovery time in order to dodge back is, like, the same no matter how damaged you are. So they'll
Sure.
hit you, you'll fly, but you'll dodge right back. And there's no, like, there's not as much impact with your hits. I just feel like I'm floating
Yeah.
through enemies and they're
Yeah.
kind of taking damage, and sometimes they get hit
Interesting.
stun.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
So it is a little different than Smash, sounds
Yes.
like. Yeah.
Yes. There's
Okay.
no shielding, no grabbing. So gameplay
Oh.
wise, even then.
Oh.
Mhm.
That's a big difference. Yeah, that's huge. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, there's
That's cool.
recovery is like crazy. You can dodge twice in the air and use your up special
I
and
did
jump
hear
off
that.
walls.
I did hear you. There's a double, like pretty much a triple jump,
Oh
basically.
yeah, and that too. So like, you need to be sent off screen in order to
Yeah.
die.
Right. Right. Everybody has Kirby's flying
Yeah,
ability.
essentially.
Yeah.
I think what this
Um.
game needs, that'll, if it can't be, and I hate to compare it to Smash, but I mean I grew up. My mom bought me a fresh new Smash 64
Yeah.
cart when I was younger, like a week after it came out, and I have been playing Smash ever since. So,
Yeah.
like,
Awesome.
I think I have
Yep.
I think it's ingrained in my DNA
Yeah.
how these games should feel. But I think
Yeah.
how
Right.
where multiverses can really succeed, especially since it's free to play, is just be a total glutton and just shove characters in here.
Yeah.
Just like every Warner Brothers character. I want the character select screen to fill your entire
Yeah, and
TV.
that's the main selling point, right?
Mhm.
It's just fun to pit those characters against each other, and I feel like that's why Smash was always successful as well. I mean, it's also a great game for sure. It feels like a great fighter game compared to other fighter games.
Mhm.
It's extremely fun. It always was. Like, and a lot more accessible. Like, I feel like Mortal Kombat and those games were always harder for me just because
Oh yeah.
like you have to know combos, and it was still fun, but it was like I never could feel like I was good at it. And Smash, I could feel like I was really good at it because it's intuitive. It's just more like items. It's just crazy. Like there was no other fighting game like it at that point,
Yeah, you
and
might.
there really
Oh, go ahead.
hasn't been since. So
If if you're
yeah.
like somewhat interested in fighting games, like
Mhm.
just to have fun with, not to like be an expert
Sure.
at, you might want to look into Street Fighter 6
Okay.
because
Yeah.
it's people they're debating whether it should go free to play or not, but they are
Sure.
adding like specials. You could just do left and your special button, just like Smash Brothers.
Okay.
You can also do
That's
like
cool.
auto
So it's
combos.
simple.
Yeah,
So it's auto combos. Okay.
it's simplified, but if you
Yeah,
want to
that's cool.
do quarter circle forward or quarter circle punch for Hadouken, you can do
Yeah.
that, and it does a little extra damage.
Okay.
But for people like us who aren't like massively into fighting games, like it's super accessible.
Cool.
I don't know. Multiverse is the same way. I just think it needs
Yeah.
a shit ton of characters added to it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm like, it seems to be doing well. So like, they're probably gonna. I would be very surprised if they didn't add more.
10 million.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, it's nothing compared to Final Fantasy 14, but yeah,
All right, Fortnite.
Fortnite. Yeah,
Do you play Fortnite?
I have played Fortnite.
Yeah.
No, I play test the game when I'm working on
Mhm.
it. Does that count?
I suppose so. Do you enjoy Fortnite?
No, I mean, these days it's mostly for like 5 to 10 year olds. Basically, I really feel like actually the audience is getting younger and younger.
Really?
Because my 15-year-old cousin like doesn't play it anymore. It's like it's not cool anymore or whatever. And I don't know, like. I think the non-build mode was cool when they tried that, or it's still a mode, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a successful game. I like the art style. I like making art for it for sure. Yeah, it's really cool.
So they tweeted the following: "Speak, name your wish. 8/16/2022 with a picture of Shenron from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah,
Smash Brothers couldn't do. Fortnite has Goku.
That's right. There were rumors that or people wanted Nintendo to do
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I actually didn't even like hear anything about that.
Wow.
Like, I don't. There's so much stuff going into Fortnite. It's like I might hear some stuff now and then, but that I didn't really hear about.
Yeah.
It's cool though. I'm not surprised at all. I wonder if he'll be able to fly.
That'd be
Um,
dope. I mean, they added like the swinging mechanic for
and
Spider-Man,
teleport.
so
That's true.
I
But
don't
I
know.
mean,
Who
that kind of
knows?
came with the new chapter, right? So
Did it?
like, pretty much, I think. Because the island flipped over, and then it was like, now we have web slinging and stuff.
Hmm.
That was like that was chapter. Wait, chapter 3? Man, now I can't even keep it
Are
straight.
there chapters,
Um,
episodes,
well, there's like
seasons?
there's a bunch of seasons throughout the years, but
Hmm.
like the chapters are the big one, right? And
Yeah.
I came on to Fortnite around like 2019, 2020 when chapter 2 was like just coming out. So I think it's on chapter 3 now? Yeah, it's on chapter 3. So like the island flipped over and that's when like the rock was in it as the foundation.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And that was the start of chapter 3, where there was
Gotcha.
an all new battle royale map. Everything's new because the whole island flipped over.
It's
So, yeah.
so weird how yeah the crowd is like getting younger, but it's a game about like shooting guns.
Yeah.
Goku with an AK-47.
Yeah, but nobody dies. There's no blood.
Oh, they just
So,
like pop in confetti or something.
yeah, I wonder if there's going to be I wonder how many Dragon Ball Z characters are going to do.
Hmm.
Um I would like to see Frieza, honestly. Frieza
Mhm.
was always my favorite just because that's like that's the one I remember watching. Like that's the season of DBZ that was on Toonami in like 2002,
Oh
whatever,
yeah.
that I just really remember watching. Like every day after school in like 3rd grade or 4th grade,
Yeah.
we would come home and like it would Toonami would be on cable and we'd watch Dragon Ball Z. And Sailor Moon was on first, so sometimes we had to like wait for Sailor Moon to get over and then we're like, "Okay, here we go." And then the whole episode is like 50 minutes of Goku charging up his spirit bombs.
Or like
Like
talking about what happened in the
yeah.
past 10 episodes because they
Right.
just need to fill time.
And it was hilarious because as a kid, I didn't even know I was watching anime. I had no idea. I didn't know
Hmm.
what anime was. I just thought this was a Japanese cartoon. And that's what anime is, I guess. But like
It was just
yeah,
like
I had no idea.
it was just super digestible anime tropes and just like everyone wants to fly, everyone wants to shoot
Yeah.
energy out of their hands. They just like I don't know, they hit
Right.
it perfectly with kids.
Who's the one character you'd want to see added to Fortnite from Dragon Ball Z?
I mean Trunks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With the
future
sword, right?
Trunks. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
so.
That was he in the Cell games or did he come in the Majin Buu stuff?
Oh no, he was there right in the
Oh
sun.
wait, but he wasn't really in the Frieza arc at all.
No,
Like when
he,
that
he he
was
never went to Namek.
right,
So
right. But he was. They knew about him before that, is what you're saying,
yeah,
or no?
so when
Okay,
Goku was still lost after Namek exploded,
okay.
um,
So that's when Trunks comes in.
Frieza came to Earth, and everyone was like,
Right.
"Shit,
Okay.
we Super Saiyan Goku could barely kill him. What did we do?" And then Trunks appears out of nowhere, slices up Frieza.
But Goku did kill Frieza. He cut her in half, or him in half.
Yeah, but then
Like
like,
Namek exploded.
yeah, but Frieza like
I
survived
I don't remember that.
somehow, and then they put like
Of
a whole
course.
bunch of like robot shit on him.
Also, I always thought Frieza was a girl or
Yeah,
a woman, female, because that's just what he sounded like
yeah, we were
to me.
kids. We didn't like
Yeah,
there was no internet or whatever. Yeah.
right. Also, doesn't Gohan pretty much become the most powerful after Goku? Like
With
he becomes crazy powerful.
well, that's a huge point of contention. Point of contention, is that the right phrase?
Sure, Goku is
Where
always the most powerful. Kakarot.
he killed Cell and he
Yeah,
was the most powerful, but then like Majin Buu comes around and he starts jobbing to like big fat Majin Buu.
yeah,
So
yeah.
he just like dorks around, but then like in the newest movies and in Dragon Ball Super, he's just a complete like nerd academic. Oh, I don't
Okay.
even know how to turn Super Saiyan anymore. It's been so many
Oh,
years.
interesting.
Like
Okay.
he's just a total jobber now.
A character that I actually didn't even know existed before a few weeks ago was Broly. Do you know about Broly?
Yeah, of course.
Like I didn't I had no I'm not a big like I like Dragon Ball Z, I just don't know a lot
His
about it. And I was
power
like, who is
is
this dude?
maximum,
Yeah,
Alex.
he's like the most powerful ever, right?
Yeah.
Broly. Okay. I pretty badass.
So he has like 3 original movies in Dragon Ball Z.
Right. I know there's a remake.
Mm-hmm. That
And
just
that was more was
retcons.
that pretty recent?
Mm-hmm. A couple years ago.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
But it totally retcons him, makes him a
Yeah.
brand new character, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
Changes a few things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to watch Dragon Ball Z Kai actually, where it cuts out like a lot of the filler and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good start for me to kind of go back into Dragon Ball.
We need to get you back up to snuff.
Yeah. Clearly. Yeah.
But oh yeah, he's coming to Fortnite. Whatever.
Yeah.
Fortnite
That's cool.
could be cool. Who knows?
Big news item.
And lastly, Marvel Midnight Suns, a tactical game being developed by the XCOM team Fireaxis, announced the game will be delayed with no future date in sight. The game was originally slated for October, but now joins the onslaught of 2022 games that have been delayed either indefinitely or pushed back to 2023.
Go figure, right?
Yeah, these may include Stalker 2, Suicide Squad, Forspoken, Breath of the Wild 2, Starfield, Redfield, Replaced, Avatar, it just goes on.
List goes on. Yep. But this is nothing new, right? I mean, even without COVID, there were still delays upon delays, right?
Mhm.
Like, it's just ever since games have become this way, games as a service model where, you're releasing updates and whatnot, and they can release a game and then do a patch, do DLC, right? I mean, that's like Breath of the Wild even had that, They had a DLC. It's like a Zelda game with DLC? What?
Yeah.
That's just the reality we live in where companies can put out a game and not even, be too concerned about what they're putting out because they know that it can just be fixed.
Yeah, it's good to
And
know that Nintendo's still like quality though.
and yeah, totally. It's that Nintendo polish, right?
Yeah, but sorry.
No, I just want to, I mean, comment on how games are constructed also, like, because as we get into 4K and now 8K, like, as a developer, it's no surprise to me at all why games keep getting pushed back because people have a thirst for these massive games that open world like that. That's the ultimate massive game. I mean, there's so much stuff that goes into these. You need armies of people to make these games, and you can't just snap your fingers and it's done. Like yeah, we have Megascan's assets, we have libraries of assets, but it takes somebody to it would take me a week to construct like a single room and make it look good, basically. And that's a generalized that's simplifying it, of course. But like I'm just saying these things take time. And yeah, these games are just massive. Games like what's it called? The one from 2018 that kept getting delayed and I forgot it even existed. Beyond Good and Evil or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was announced like a decade ago.
Yeah.
Over, yeah.
And like yeah, or like Cyberpunk. I mean, like these games worlds have so much detail in them and people just think it can be made like what? That you're taking a whole other year? Like yeah, it takes time, man. So
yeah, Breath of the Wild 2 was like especially funny.
When did we get that first trailer? Was that like 2020? 2021?
We were still having new Smash characters come out. Breath of the Wild 2.
Well, when did they announce Sora as the final character? Was that a year ago? For Smash?
Yeah, time is just... So he came out in October of last year.
Sora did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
yeah, so not too long ago.
Breath of the Wild 2 reveal.
I feel like it's been at least a year, if not 2 years, since the first like teaser trailer.
That
for Breath of the Wild
was
2.
that was in 2019. Was the
Good
first
lord.
teaser? Yeah.
No.
You're thinking of the teaser with actual gameplay. That was last year.
Yeah, no, I'm talking like the first teaser where you saw like, yeah,
Oh, where they're just
where
walking
you
down and
where you saw the figure with the hand on its chest, and you could see the glowy, yeah, and then people started theorizing like, oh, it's Ganondorf, and it probably is Ganondorf, but we still don't know.
could be anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, games are getting bigger, but I think it's really opening a discussion like how big do games have to be? It's
Yeah, well,
I mean, people have fallen off Ubisoft open world games.
yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't hear people talk about the new Assassin's Creed game, Valhalla, right? A lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Man, nobody's playing. I might have one or two friends that are like maybe still playing that.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think you're totally right.
they're just they. I'm trying to remember what exactly
I
they
still
said.
think they're cool. Like I still want to play a few of those games, but I can never get past the third one.
Yeah,
People told me like just skip the third game, dude. But I was like, I really like that era, the revolutionary era, and I just wanted to finish it, but I couldn't finish it. It just was not playable for me. I don't know.
some of those old ones are hard to go back to.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know Assassin's Creed 4 doesn't even have like a crouch button.
Black Flag?
Yeah, Black Flag.
Really?
So you're stealthing around and you're standing straight up,
Really?
like hiding around a corner while a
Wow.
guard's coming. It's like
Yeah, I didn't hear great things about that one anyways.
it was like well revered for its like boat combat.
Yeah. Yeah, but is that what Assassin's Creed should be? I mean,
No.
I think Syndicate got back to what it should be. Syndicate, I remember watching my roommate at the time play that game. I thought it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then was it the Roman one after that? Or was it the
So
Assassin's Creed Origins was like 3-4 years ago, the Egyptian one.
yeah, Origins, and then
Yeah.
Odyssey came out after that.
Okay, Odyssey was after Origins. Man, there's been a lot.
Yeah, I mean they get a lot of praise when they first come out, but
Yeah.
it's just I don't know.
I really liked Ubisoft's Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle,
Oh yeah?
which I know you have a vendetta against the Rabbids, but
Yeah, I'm not a fan. They stole my poor Rayman. Poor Rayman's drowning himself.
they
in
are
a
the
dive bar.
minions. They are the they are the minions of the game world for sure.
Did Sparks of Hope get a release date?
Uh, I
October
feel like yes, yeah,
October 20th.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you'll get plenty more.
It's coming.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about those games is the music. I mean, I've always been a huge Grant Kirkhope fan. You know this.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my favorite game soundtracks are those old Banjo-Kazooie games.
Yeah,
So
that was dope when you told me. I had no idea.
yeah, yep.
I had no idea. The last I heard of Grant Kirkhope, he was working on ukulele.
Yeah. Actually, he did a live-action movie fairly recently that has Pierce Brosnan in it. Pierce Brosnan. I always want to say Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, it's that's not his name. It's Pierce Brosnan.
It's technically like spelled Brosnan or something. Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be wrong about
Brosnan. Yeah, you're right.
that. Yeah, he's in like a shoot. What's that movie called? It's like something with the king something. It looks good. It's like a period piece. So he's like getting into film a little bit now.
The King's
but-
Daughter.
Yes, there you
Wow.
go. Haven't seen it yet. But don't tell him that.
That's
As if he'll ever see this podcast.
hey, you never know.
I mean, I am Facebook friends with him.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah.
All right, delays suck, but
Yeah.
necessary.
It's the reality of the industry.
Yeah. All right, let's do some August releases, then we'll jump into our topic. Iron Galaxy, developers of Instinct, released their free-to-play multiplayer wrestling brawler Rumbleverse today. Roll7, developers of OlliOlli and Not a Hero, released their third-person roller skating shooter Rollerdrome on August 16th. Indie darling RPG Time Legend of Right comes to Nintendo Switch on August 18th. And the biggest, I guess like you could say biggest release of August would be Saints Row, the reboot to Volition's long-loved series of the same name that began in 2006. Other notable titles in August are sequel to Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers 2, Pac-Man World Repack, which we talked about earlier on August 26th, and TMNT The Cowabunga Collection, which is a compilation of 13 different Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games developed by Konami, releasing on August 30th.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fun fact about the Ninja Turtles, the voice actors who played the original 4 were just at C2E2.
Really?
Yeah.
Like in the cartoon, right?
I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
One of my buddies who I met at C2E2, he's a huge Turtles fan, so he brought the panel of like the arcade cabinet that he has in his basement.
Mm-hmm.
Like he took the panel off, brought it to the con so they could like sign it. So like there's a signature of each Ninja Turtle like in the four corners of like this front panel or like lower panel to the game. I was like, oh my god, that's awesome.
Cool.
But yeah, so side note on that, and then shout out to one of my best friends, EJ Villa Gomez. She just started at Volition actually.
Cool.
A month ago, maybe 2 months ago now.
Mm-hmm.
So she probably didn't work on the new game that is releasing, but
yeah, Volition's cool. Other than Agents of Mayhem, they've been
I
solid.
don't know. All I know about Saints Row really is that it's kind of like Grand Theft Auto, but a little more like bombastic and stylized and quirky.
Yeah, the first one was like straight up GTA clone in 2006. The second one is the one that got wacky, where you could run around naked and jump off skyscrapers.
Yeah.
The third one was a bit more grounded. It had the dildo swords, and I forget if that one had the dubstep gun.
No, I do remember like a purple thing that you just said.
Yeah, it was like a pre-order bonus or something.
Okay.
And then 4, have you ever played the game Prototype?
I can't say that I have.
It's like this crazy, I don't know, you can run, you're in the city, you run super fast, you have like magic blood powers, but that's what Saints Row 4 was.
Okay.
So they massively jumped the shark, so they needed to reboot the series if they wanted to make a new one. Yeah. Gotcha.
Okay. Cool. The more you know.
Yeah, but if you're interested in kind of seeing like the wackiness you could do, there is a free, I don't know what you call it, an app or something. You can download it on anything, Xbox, PlayStation, PC. It's called Boss Factory. And it gives you like all the customization options to like create your own character before the game comes out.
Okay.
So you can kind of see some of the wacky shit that's in there.
I may have to check that out.
You can like look up like other creations too. People have like created Shaggy, Dante, Heisenberg, just like
I believe it.
I saw Mr. Popo and I laughed my ass off.
But that's from Dragon Ball Z, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Man, we got to get you up to speed.
Dude, I mean, I can pull it out of my memory banks deep within.
All right. Though. Let's do it. Topic of the week, and then we'll get out of here. So, let's do our top 5 games of all time. I think for the counting down from 5 to 4, let's just do a brief overview. We'll just do a quick back and forth.
I haven't had much time to think about this. So it's gonna be on the fly.
Pull them out of your ass.
Which is good because it'll be more honest that way.
Yeah.
Like gut feeling on favorite games. You want to go from 5 all the way down to 1?
Yeah, because our number ones will spark the competition, the debate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'll go first while you think of what a good number 5 would be.
I don't have my pen. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, my number 5 of all time is actually a ROM hack called Pokemon Crystal Clear. I'm super nostalgic for Pokemon Red and Gold growing up.
Oh yeah.
Playing it on my Game Boy, burning through AA batteries. And essentially what Crystal Clear does is it combines the 2 games together.
Okay.
And it allows you to choose from 30 different starters. It gets rid of all barriers, like trees, like guards that don't let you cross. You can go to any gym at any time. Like, Brock can be the 16th gym leader you face.
Sure.
But he will have 6 super high-powered Pokemon, because gym leaders scale to how many gym badges you have.
Okay.
And they add side stories, they add new Pokemon, just so many quality of life things. Yeah, it's my number 5. It's the perfect ROM hack in my mind.
God, ROMs are so cool. Like that's how Undertale, which I'm just gonna add to my list right here. That's how Undertale was born, pretty much, because Toby Fox was he did those Earthbound mods.
Really? I had no idea.
Oh yeah, and obviously Toby Fox is brilliant, so he did all the music and stuff. But like, yeah, he was like big on those forums, whether it was Reddit or whatever. But yeah, he was in that community of like modding Earthbound. And is that what I said before? Earthbound?
Yeah.
I might have said that. Okay. Yeah, that's how he pretty much got to start in doing game maker stuff. Was doing those mods for Earthbound, which I've said that now like 3 times.
It's dope, dude. ROM hacks are dope.
Yeah,
remixing old games.
Fox, and yep, I would love to do some like N64 or Zelda mods, but that is neither here nor there. I'm gonna put Roller Coaster Tycoon at my 5, just because like it's not a game I would normally think to put in the list, but that game, dude, I wouldn't be surprised if I've poured like 5,000 hours of my life into that game.
Wow.
Like, cause I played the original, like on weekends, like after school every day, all throughout elementary school. Well, 3rd grade on, like maybe 4th grade on up. Like, yeah, and you know, I stopped playing probably after middle school, or maybe, yeah, because at that point I was probably doing more Zelda games and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I'd put it at 5 just because like the original Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, and now that it's on mobile, like they ported it to mobile really well. And I'm sure not a lot of people are playing it, but like when COVID hit, I was playing Roller Coaster like every day, just, you know, on my couch at home. Like just, yeah, amazingly balanced game. I mean, that game was programmed entirely in assembly code.
Wow.
Which is like basically 1s and 0s. I mean, not really, but kind of.
It may as well be magic to me.
Yeah, I think Chris Sawyer, I think, is the name of the developer. Not Tom Sawyer. Right? I think Chris Sawyer.
You said
yeah.
Tom Sawyer?
No, I think it is Chris. I don't know. It's something Sawyer, but he's a mad genius, because that game is a true masterpiece in my opinion. Like building roller coasters and all that stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's 5.
Rock on. My number 3 and 4 commonly switch.
Oh yeah.
Just for tonight, I'll put. We'll do Smash Ultimate. Speaking of Toby Fox.
There you go. Okay.
Speaking of Toby Fox, he played with Sakurai. Toby Fox went to Japan and played.
I know.
Smash Brothers. It was.
Yeah, and he learned Japanese. I think he described in an interview, like via text, because he doesn't like to talk a lot in interviews, that he kind of, at that point, he was still learning Japanese, so it was kind of broken Japanese, but he was still able to communicate with him. And then, of course, Sans is in Ultimate as a skin of, or what do they call it?
Mii
fighter. Yeah, Mii fighter. Mii gunner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I still wish they would have actually made him a character. But what can you do?
Yeah,
that's good enough.
Hey, we'll take it. I just love this celebration of video games. Every character I grew up with. I mean, we grew up with. We grew up with the N64.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, a little past NES, but yeah, it's just. It's just a solid game. There's no other brawler that can match it. People have tried, and it just doesn't. PlayStation All-Stars. Like, they tried and they failed. They didn't even come close to the quality.
Yeah, not even close.
You can just tell Sakurai's a huge nerd in all those presents that he has. So his love of fighting games he just poured into this.
Do you like how he uses the controllers and he like does 2 at once? Like
he's a psycho.
Yeah,
He's
it's insane.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, in the directs, he doesn't play
Yeah.
with another person when he's showing off
Yeah,
a
he's
character.
literally just yeah.
Yeah, he puts two controllers on his desk and he controls both of them, one with each
Oh,
hand.
yeah.
It's mind blowing.
Mad genius if there ever was one. Um,
Yeah, I can't say much else
Man,
about
I really actually do want to put a Super Mario game on my list, but
it.
um, I just I just don't know if I can. Like, I'd probably want to put Mario 64. See, here's my dilemma, right? Like, I would love to fill up this list with 5 Zelda games, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do
Yeah, you
that.
can if you want. It's your
Um,
list.
I you know, okay, we'll get to this later. So
Okay.
I'll make that decision then. I'll put Mario 64 on my list just because that game, like the nostalgia with that game for me is like that is prime nostalgia. That is like um that's Christmas 1995 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like memories. Like I will never forget. Like I got a bunch of mechanical pencils because they were all the rage at that year or something. So I had like my 7 like colored mechanical pencils there on my chair, and like I had my N64 controller in my hands playing Mario 64 in my basement when I was like 7 years old maybe. Like doesn't get much better than that memory. Um,
Yeah, you have that
and
burned
I,
into your
it's in
brain.
there. It's in there. Um, but I was debating whether to put Mario 64 or Diddy Kong Racing in that spot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because yeah, um, Diddy Kong Racing, in my opinion, is like the best racing game ever made. Like
I can get behind that.
it's just perfect. I might have to do an honorable mention for Diddy Kong Racing
Yeah.
because god damn that game. Like the music. Ah, music's so good. You know what? No, I'm taking Mario 64 off.
Oh shit.
I'm putting Mario 64 in the honorable mentions.
Mm-hmm.
No, Diddy Kong, like I listen to Diddy Kong Racing like soundtrack probably once a year. Um and that's being modest. Maybe it's more than that. Like those jams, David Weiss, man. Yeah, go for it. Your turn.
I'm the same way with
Are
Mystical.
we
What?
with what?
Oh, Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. If I'm
Oh,
just
nice.
having a shitty day at work, I just put on the
Yeah.
OST. It's just.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's a very upbeat soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
That's Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah.
All right, so
What were you about to ask?
so that was our third
No, that was our
our
fourth.
third game. That was our okay. Yeah. That was our fourth. Okay. All right.
Right?
I'm gonna have to make edits to this.
Oh
Yeah.
no, it's unofficial.
For me, it was RCT, and then I said,
Diddy Kong.
yeah, Diddy Kong. So that was only 2 so far.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
now-
now we're on the third. Now we're on the third. Okay, cool.
Number 3, Final
Yeah.
Fantasy 9. Final Fantasy.
9.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, Final Fantasy. It's the reason why I'm a Sony fanboy. You know,
Yep.
I'm kind of with Nintendo too, but like
Hell yeah.
I've been
No. You're Sony. I'm Nintendo.
Yeah. I'm
That's
a
how
little
this podcast
Xbox, but
is going.
but
Honorable mention.
honorable mention Xbox.
Yeah.
It's I don't know what I can really say about it.
Yeah.
This is also a love letter to classic Final Fantasy games. I just remember pouring so much time into like the GBA ports of 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
I remember going to like Toy Wiz in the Fox Valley Mall in Aurora, and I picked up Final Fantasy
Awesome.
VII just willy nilly. This was before Final Fantasy VII was impossible to find.
Yeah.
It was selling for like $300 on eBay.
Okay.
But yeah, I was just burning through Final Fantasy games, and just 9 is charming. I love the love story. I love the characters. I really don't know what else I can really say about the music's amazing. It just strikes a chord. I'm sure a lot of it's nostalgia.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean that. Look. Okay, hold on. Nostalgia, as much as it does affect us, like it's a very real part of it. You know, we're talking about favorite games, right? Not objectively like, oh, what do we think the greatest games of all time are? This is our favorites list.
Yeah,
So nostalgia is a big factor.
that's a good
If
point.
we were trying to objectively like decide what the greatest games ever are, maybe I would take nostalgia out of it.
Yeah,
So all right, I'm
but
just amending my list here. Hold on.
yeah, go for it.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna say, mm, God, it's so hard. I'll put Undertale here.
Cool.
I will put Undertale here. Just because it was life changing for me. It was also a game where it was kind of a pivotal time in my life because that was when um I was at that time in my life. This was like 2018-ish, 2017, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I was going from I was getting laid off from Creative Kingdoms, which is the game that did the Great Wolf Lodge game that I was telling you about,
Mm-hmm.
and we also did like a game for NASA. No big deal. It was like a Kennedy Space Center educational experience. So
Yes.
after we finished that project, they had to lay a bunch of us off because it was a very small studio.
Mm-hmm.
But I had just gotten a job for Lost Boys Interactive, which at that time was a studio of like 3 people, and I was like the first artist they hired. And then shortly after that, we hired a bunch more people to up to like I think about 15 people maybe. And now Lost Boys is like at 200 employees. It's insane.
Yeah.
Uh, which is really like really cool for them. But that was the first time I was living on my own. So I had just moved into like this new apartment. That was a studio apartment, really cool place. So I've got those nostalgia feels there. Like I was living on my own. Undertale had just come out, and I got it on my laptop, and I just burned through that game. Like, and we were crunching really hard at that time for Lost Boys,
Wow.
like trying to do, like I was burning both ends of the candle, man. I
Mm-hmm.
was I was doing our contract work for Human Head Studios at the time, which is now called Roundhouse Studios, bought by Bethesda. And so I was working so hard, and like it felt so good to like finish work and then just play Undertale and like decompress. And it was like,
Yeah,
this game is so amazing.
it's
And
like
if
an
you've played
escape.
that, you've played it, right?
Yeah.
Like, God, that game is so fucking creative. Like, for anyone who doesn't know, just real quick, like, it's retro graphics, like almost NES style, 8-bit pretty much. But it's like detailed 8-bit, right? Because all the bosses have way more pixels. Everything's animated. Like the music is like a fusion of like 16-bit music with, orchestration even like the creativity on this game is over 9,000. Like
Dude,
it really is. It's like you
s-
just have to experience it. There's no way to describe it, but
everyone talks about
uh,
Megalovania, but Spider Dance is a
that's just
stroke
yeah.
of
That's the
genius.
tip of the iceberg, man. Megalovania is the tip of the iceberg. Spider Dance is great too. Like, and there's a bunch of remixes that are just dubstep, like hard style remixes. Just ah,
I need to go
so
back to Undertale. That's I
yeah.
I was kind of like,
Play Deltarune too, man. Play Deltarune.
is it like finished? Like,
Well,
does it?
okay,
Oh
okay.
no.
Every time I bring up Deltarune to people, they're like, "Well, I don't want to play it yet because it's not all out yet." Like I was just at Ramen San downtown Chicago, this ramen place,
I
and he
worked
saw
in
my.
their basement.
Oh,
Oh
really?
yeah, I
Oh, yeah.
texted you that. Yeah,
I went to Ramen San Deluxe, which is in Streeterville or
yeah.
whatever. It's like a little bigger.
Mhm.
But the guy liked my hat, and I was like, "Oh yeah, have you played Deltarune?" He's like, "Well, no, because I need more of the game to sink my teeth into or whatever." I'm like, that is fair. That is fair. There's 2 chapters out,
Hmm.
but he's gonna release the next 2 chapters at once. So it's 2 chapters right now, then 2 more at once, which is probably gonna happen relatively soon. And then I think it sounds like he's getting more help, so he might release them faster. But
Cool.
um, also, if you don't know, it's not really. I mean, it's like Undertale, but if Undertale is 8-bit, then Deltarune is like 16-bit.
Hmm.
Like a little upgrade. It's more like Super Nintendo. But I digress.
Dude,
What's your number three?
his next one should be like N64 graphics.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Mother 3 was being made for.
Oh no. You mean after Deltarune is totally finished? Then maybe.
Yeah.
Wow.
A Mother 3 N64 graphical
Uh,
style.
yeah.
Anyways, my number
Maybe.
what? Yeah, who
Oh,
knows? My number 2, Resident
yeah.
Evil 4. This
Hell
game
yeah. Hell yes. Thank you for putting that on your list.
this game is just
Oh
absurd.
my god.
I my going back to my childhood.
Yep.
I remember I walked into GameStop and for some reason I had $100 and something, and I bought
Okay.
the two biggest releases within like the past couple of years. It was Resident Evil 4 and Twilight Princess.
Oh
I
fuck.
I went home, I popped in Twilight Princess,
Yeah.
and I was so bored. Even as a kid, I was like,
In Twilight Princess, yeah.
yeah,
It's a rough beginning to
rough
that
start.
game. It takes a long time to
Yeah,
get into the story.
so I took
Yeah.
that game disc out. I popped in Resident Evil 4 because everybody's talking about it.
Oh yeah.
It opens up with Leon
Yeah.
in that forest, and I think it's like, for anyone out there who's played Bloodborne, I thought it was like Forbidden Woods level of open. Like,
Oh.
the
Yeah.
forest is huge. There could be
Uh-huh.
anything walking around. I was too scared. I turned it off. So I
Oh.
just bought these two new games,
Oh, that's
and I
hilarious.
didn't want to play either one. I was too scared to play Resident Evil 4. But
You
after...
kept playing
What?
them though, right? You.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
eventually
Okay.
finished them. I grew...
That's a funny story though.
I
That's
grew a
pretty fun.
pair. But Resident Evil
That's great.
4 is a game I play at least once a year.
Yeah.
It's just the perfect mix of survival horror,
Yeah.
third person shooting, kind of like
Yep.
arcadey. I don't want to say something like Time Crisis, but
Yeah. No, that's. I mean, it's not on rails basically, but yeah, it's a lot like
yeah,
that.
every time you aim, you stop and play. So it's kind of like a
Yeah,
Time
you have
Crisis,
to.
House of the Dead kind of thing.
Okay, did you play it on GameCube or Wii?
I think. Oh, I think I've beaten it on everything.
I know, but when
Yeah.
you originally played it, what was it on?
Yeah, it was GameCube.
Okay, because I played it on Wii.
Mm-hmm.
Because it came out, I think, the same time on Wii and GameCube. Or no. Did they re-release it? I don't know.
It originally came out on GameCube, later came to PS2, and then came
Okay.
to Wii after
Okay.
all that.
Okay, after all that. First time I played it was on Wii.
Easy mode.
So, like, well, I mean, obviously you only have the nunchuck and the Wiimote, so it's like to turn around you had to do this weird back face thing where you do a certain like I think you'd like pull back,
Mhm.
so like you would immediately, but you couldn't like control the camera like at all.
Yeah.
So it's almost like more terrifying and more hard because like you knew that someone was chasing you and you couldn't like strafe while you were walking, so you had to just like stop and turn around. It's
Yeah,
fantastic game.
it's the perfect.
Oh no, I just
What?
remembered another game I want to put on this list. Fuck, dude.
We
I'm
could
gonna have
just.
to like move. I'm gonna have to like. Okay, I'll give you. We'll keep going, and I'll give you the final thing at the
I
end.
mean, we could throw it in. It's. I don't think anybody's holding us at
We'll
gunpoint
see.
right now.
We'll see. Okay. Are we doing? So I have to give you my number 2, right?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Do you have any guesses?
Fuck.
It's Nintendo. It's one of the main Nintendo franchises. And it's sci-fi.
Sci-fi. Oh, Star Fox 64.
Oh, that's another one I want to put on here, but Metroid Prime.
Okay.
Just because and there's a lot like I can't I would fill this up with N64 games if I could, okay? But I want to keep this, I want to keep this balanced. So
a little
I'm putting
variety.
a GameCube game in there. Yeah, Metroid, I mean also it was yeah, game changing for me, like life changing. I mean, like cuz I was never a first person shooter guy. My brother played Halo, my brother played Call of Duty. Those games were coming out around this time, but I wasn't really into those. I liked Halo; it was cool, but I didn't play it. But I played Metroid Prime, and I just thought it was so cool. And that was a game where my brother and I kind of were both really into it because he was into those first-person shooters. So that was like it was some common ground for us, where we were both just super stoked about that game. And he watched me play a lot of it. My brother would watch me play a lot of games. And actually, this is a story. But my brother we were near the end of the game, and my brother got like he just got a fever one day during like a football or a baseball game, and they were on their way home, and he like couldn't say the alphabet. Like he
Whoa.
had encephalitis, lacrosse encephalitis from like a mosquito,
Weird.
and we were like, we thought he could die, basically. And I just remember that, and he had just recovered miraculously. Um, and I just felt so bad for him, and like I just was so scared, and so relieved that he was okay. I just remember wheeling him out of the hospital in a wheelchair
Hmm.
to this RV that we had. And I had the GameCube set up in there so we could finish the game. And we just sat down and we finished it.
Yeah.
And he had
Wow.
just recovered from this like life-threatening disease or sickness, whatever. It was like, so that's a memory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
There's so many.
but
Yeah.
on top of that, I just love the environments in that game, and I love how like that game at that time was the definition of immersive, right? I mean, Samus's visor with like the water droplets and stuff they were putting on her visor in like you felt like you were in the world. It was just flawless,
Hmm.
and you could scan stuff, and like there was like text about every unique enemy, and it was just I could just gush about the game for a long time.
Yeah.
But everything about it was just sweet.
That one got lost in the
Yeah.
what's that stupid phrase? God. Yeah, like growing up, like for GameCube games, like stuff like Eternal Darkness and stuff, I never played. So there's
Yeah.
like a couple ones. Unfortunately, Metro Prime is one of them. But from what I have like heard,
Yeah.
is
That's
that
fair.
it perfectly translated a lot like RE4.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's Super Metroid into like a first-person shooter, like the
Hmm.
environments and the way you like attacked
Yeah.
enemies and got upgrades and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a perfect
Yeah.
transition or
Totally.
translation.
Yep.
And there's possibly a remake coming. Apparently, it's done. Nintendo's just holding on to
Uh,
it.
wait. For Resident Evil 4?
No. Oh, Resident Evil 4, yeah, is being remade, but Metroid Prime, it's rumored that the remake for that game
That's right. Like a
is.
total remake is
Mhm.
what you're saying. Like not just like a reskin upres, we're talking a remake. I did
No.
hear that. I don't know if those are true.
Yeah, we'll see.
'Cause I mean they're doing Metroid Prime 4. Like that's what Retro is working on.
Hmm.
So, um, yeah. Who knows though, right? But RE4 is on the Oculus apparently, which I still have to play.
I played it. It's amazing.
On Oculus?
Yeah.
Do you have one?
No, I had borrowed my
Oh,
friend's,
okay. Okay.
but
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
It's great.
It's so like that game is already wacky and crazy and over the top as is.
Yeah.
But now you can like run up to enemies with your gun and your knife, and I'm just like juggling, just like being
I
a
don't know if I'd
complete.
call it. I wouldn't call it wacky. I wouldn't call Resident Evil 4 wacky.
Your right hand comes off. It's
In
like
Resident Evil. Oh, I
Resident Evil
see.
4. Like
Okay,
it's
for that reason. Okay, all right,
yeah,
that's fair.
it's just a weirdo, crazy game, and just
Yeah,
like having full control of your movements just makes it even more like
yeah, I can see
I don't
that.
know. It's
I
really
can
fun.
see that.
If you ever get a chance, go for it.
Yeah, no, I have an Oculus Quest 2, so I'll be playing that.
Sweet.
All right,
My
we're at
number
number
one
one.
is right over there on my wall, actually. The
Hell
Legend
yeah,
of Zelda Majora's Mask for Nintendo 64,
perfect game.
released in the year 2000, one year
Perfect time.
after Ocarina. I love
Yep.
this game.
Yeah.
It's another game I play yearly ever since release, so I've beaten it at least 22 times.
Yeah.
There's just something so
Every year. Wow.
yeah, RE4 and Majora's Mask.
More dedicated than I am.
Well, I mean, I know everything, so like I can knock it out in
Yeah.
a day, 2 days.
So you 100%ed it.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
okay.
The DS version and the N64 version.
Speedrun?
No, I have my own kind of speed run,
Sure.
but it doesn't come
Yeah,
close.
I got you. I got you.
I think I can 100% it in like 7 or 8 cycles. So
Wow.
I don't know.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't know
you
if that's
know.
good or not.
You know.
I just stick with what I like did as a kid.
What's your record for the squid shooting game in Clocktown?
I have no
Because I
idea.
was pretty good at that. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question. I'll try it out. I'll try
We
it out
should
my
do
game.
a we should do a stream and compete.
Let's do it. I'm down for it, man. But
Um,
this game
yeah,
just I don't know what it is about Termina, walking around town and seeing all these characters. There's
yeah,
something about going into that inn and just like it's so quiet and
yeah. The
calming.
atmosphere,
The atmosphere
dude.
is a great word
Just the
for it.
fact that there's no music in there at night, or maybe it's.
I think it's
I think it's
always
only. I think it's only at night. I think there. It. Oh man,
you just have the
that's a good
clock turning.
question. The whole, even during the day, there's no like inside the house music.
Oh well. Now you're
I think there is
making me
during the
second
day.
guess myself.
You have to check it, man.
Cause yeah,
I really,
I just think of going to Andrew at
yeah.
midnight
No, no, no.
to accept
Definitely
that
at
letter.
night, there's
Yeah,
no
yeah, you're
music.
right.
I think it. I'm just a big music guy in games, so
Hmm.
I have a gut feeling about that. But
Hmm.
I also listen to the Game Grumps
I'll
play
take
it
your
a
word
lot.
for it. Yeah, but this game,
Um,
it's
yeah.
so like, it's so real. I'm a big procrastinator, but like a lot of times when I
Yeah,
procrastinate
me too.
something that I'm really passionate about, it really turns into something special. I don't have any
Ooh,
examples. I'm not gonna bring them up, but
that's interesting.
I feel like this team really wanted to do something different because they only had like a year to make it,
Totally. Yep. Or
reusing
less.
assets.
Yep.
Andrew's side quest with Cafe is like so prominent in the
Dude.
game, but in Ocarina, Andrew's
Yeah.
just some chick who lost all her cuckoos. Like,
I don't
and
even think she has a name in that. There's no name. It's
no,
just the cuckoo lady.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
I love how like detail oriented the game is, where people are still finding secrets.
Yeah.
One of the big ones that they found back in the day, but like if at a certain time the postman has to come to
Dude, yes.
Andrew, freak her
Yeah.
out, you get the key to
Yep.
the room,
In that
and
sequence.
if you don't activate the Andrew Cafe side quest,
Yep.
go into the second room, you can hear her mother talking to Andrew, and it's just like this depressing. He's not
Yes.
coming back to
Yep.
you. We're going
Right.
to your friend Kremia's
God.
like
And they
farmhouse.
thought it. And they thought of that. They like. Yeah. That's so
People
great.
are still. I saw a video the other day.
Uh.
You could see Romani if she gets abducted by aliens.
Yeah.
There is a point of nighttime on the second day where she's like lobotomized and walking around
Yeah.
in the
Yep.
field.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many more times do I need to play this game to see everything that's in
It's
it?
disturbing. Yeah.
But just to
I'm sure at this point you've seen everything.
oh,
Probably.
maybe I don't
I
think
think
so.
so. I
I
think
don't know.
so.
Maybe.
Dude, 22 times.
But
Every corner of the Great Bay, even under
mhm.
the water. I'll bet.
Yeah, those damn beavers.
Quick question before we move on, though. Do you prefer original or the 3DS remake?
Original.
Yeah, of course.
Original.
Okay.
I love the whole.
They messed up so much stuff in that remake.
So bad.
They bastardized it.
It's
I'm sorry.
so bad. It yeah.
The most egregious thing, in my opinion, was the swimming. The Zora swimming. They fucked that up.
Zora swimming sucks ass, and I think being
Yeah.
able to choose the exact time you want to go to really
That's cheating. Yeah,
ruins
it's
the
cheating.
effect of banking all your progress at the end of the
Yeah.
third day.
Yes.
You've earned all
Yes.
this shit, and that feeling is so good. Um,
I do like that you can skip the Song of Soaring cutscene though
mm,
each time.
that's true.
I just remember being in agony waiting for that little cutscene to play out every time I wanted to warp. I was
Yeah,
like, oh my god,
it's
just
brutal.
go, please. Yeah.
I will
Anyway,
say one more thing with
yeah, please.
because I'm being overly long with Majora's Mask, but
This is number one. It's
being
fine.
a kid, yeah, that's true. Being a kid, I don't know if we were all kind of depressed. It may be a thing. I don't really care to know, but there was like a certain sadness that I really had, and I feel
Yeah.
like this game, just like the timer always being in the bottom of the screen, counting down, the moon's coming. People are afraid of death. They're all coping with it in different ways, and Link is just like this boy who runs around, and I don't feel like he's doing much, but he's helping these people come to terms with everything that's going on, like the postman, or
Yep.
Cafe and Anju, or
Yep.
the mayor, unable to decide whether people should stay or
Yeah.
go. Um, I I don't know. I really think this game helped me find perspective in life and just know that, yeah, we all have our own
Awesome.
timers counting down, and you really need to appreciate things. And I just
Yeah.
feel like that
Oh, it's
even
so
though it's so
good. It's
depressing,
so
I
good.
found some sort of positivity in it that I still keep to this day, and I fucking love it so much.
Yeah, dude. Well said.
Yeah, thanks.
Well said. Um,
Do it, duder.
I would also put Majora at number one, but I just can't bring myself to because Ocarina is my favorite
Mm,
game
mhm,
ever. Like, it's number one. It's um I mean that was a very that made me want to put it Majora number one for sure. Just because it is God, like especially considering the amount of time they had to make Majora, it was a perfect game. Um and the timer never bothered me like it did everybody else, but
mhm,
for me, it's not only the nostalgia, of playing through that game with my brother and my cousin, actually, but it's the design of the game. It's the adventure and it's the hero's journey, which I'm sure you've heard of. I actually studied this in college. It's called the monomyth or the hero's journey. It's
mhm.
basically like all mythology can be boiled down to a certain kind of formula, and there are differences in the formula depending on what story you're experiencing. But Star Wars follows this, Zelda follows this, roughly. But it's about being called to adventure, accepting the call to adventure, and there's all these steps. You know, there's certain hardships, whatnot. There's crossing the threshold, I think it's called,
Mhm.
and then like combating whatever, and then returning through the threshold, which for Link is the kind of threshold of maturity, or what have you. Um, but all that aside, the things I prefer about Ocarina over Majora are the temples.
100%.
I like everyone hates the water temple, but it's probably my favorite environment in any game ever. Just because of whatever whatever sound sampling program Koji Kondo was using was like perfect for that era.
Mhm.
Like that soundtrack of that temple and like just and if you go back and play these games, Majora and Ocarina, like you will be surprised at the subtlety and the fidelity of some of the sound effects and like the textures being used even. Like it doesn't look as ugly as people think. Everyone rips on N64 because like, oh, the textures are so like looks like pixel vomit or whatever.
Yeah.
No. No, go back and play those games and then tell me it looks like pixel vomit. Like those are gorgeous environments.
A
Um,
lot of people are playing on like modern TVs too, but like
that's
those
true.
games were
That is true.
designed to be played
Yeah.
on a CRT.
There's
So,
something to
yeah.
be said for that. But like Ocarina, I just love kind of the theming of each dungeon and the atmosphere. And Majora has atmosphere too, like we discussed. Like,
Mhm.
that like the Stockpot Inn is a prime example. But just being underground too and like water droplets falling. But like Deku Tree to Dodongo's Cavern to inside Lord Jabu Jabu.
Yeah.
Like that's so cool. Um, and like even Master Quest is cool because there's like cows inside Jamu Jabu. Um, but then like it gets so dark. It gets dark as fuck in the well. Like that dead hand
Dude, it's
or
spooky.
dedo hando in Japanese. Yeah, it's fucking scary. And one of the coolest items, in my opinion, is the Lens of Truth.
Hmm.
Like, there's just something so cool about that Sheikah mythology, and like, that's another thing about Ocarina. They built such an in-depth world, and that's why there's so many theory videos about it.
Hmm.
Because you can make up all this shit. Like, what was the Forest Temple used for? What even is that place?
Yeah.
Like, and Zeltic did a video that's like, oh, maybe it's like a training ground for like the Knights of Hyrule or whatever. Like that stuff is so fucking inspiring for me. Um,
Yeah, they're integrated really well into
oh
the
my
world
God,
too. It's
dude.
not just a giant door.
Yeah, yeah,
It's you got to cross a
yeah.
desert to get to the
Exactly,
uh
exactly. And I,
yeah.
yeah. And I just love all the mythology of the Triforce and stuff, and you just don't get that in Majora.
Mm-hmm.
And as cool as Majora is, like, I will actually definitely say, like, Majora's design as a villain is definitely cooler than Ganondorf. But like that final battle with going like the bridge, crossing the bridge to Ganon's castle, and then going all the way up, and that music gets louder and louder, like the organ gets louder, and you're like, oh my god,
dude! When he pulls out the
like,
swords and the lightning in the background, Ganon! Like, what's the exact tagline? Do you know? The Great Beast.
It's Ganon.
Just Ganon.
It's Ganon, because you know what this is.
Yeah.
Ganondorf. It says. Oh god, I better get this right.
This will be on the quiz.
Ganondorf, Great King of Evil. I'm pretty sure. The Great King of Evil, Ganondorf.
That sounds right.
But when it's Ganon, it just says fucking Ganon.
Maybe I'm thinking of Breath of the Wild.
That's another... Yeah, probably. But, yeah, let's not talk about that final boss. That was an abomination. That was the biggest disappointment of the game for me, was the final boss.
Breath of the Wild's its own podcast.
It's a great game, though.
Yeah.
This whole thing is its own podcast.
Yeah.
But, I was just gonna say that's another travesty from the 3DS remake, is that they brightened up that final battle at the end. They made everything bright, but in the original game, when he like takes those swords out and you're fighting Ganon, you pretty much just see his silhouette, and you see his glowing eyes, and everything's dark, and the sky is dark and stormy, and it's like perfect.
Just like when you die in Zelda 2, all you see is a silhouette. You know, there's like.
Yes, and that ending. Just so many feels with that whole game. So that's, and I'll admit, I do like the characters in Majora, how they all have a name and they all have a story, and like you said, it almost feels more real in a weird way. Like Majora feels like it feels like a dream world, but it also feels like a real, like the people feel real. So there's just something weird and freaky about that game. Also, and I will say, the part where you heal the little girl's father in the music box house brings me to tears.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Every time. It makes me cry real tears.
You're just having a bad dream.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It makes me cry big time.
The music that swells up afterwards.
Pretty sure there are multiple parts of Majora that make me cry. But anyways, so Ocarina. Number one. It always pretty much has been number one.
It got a lot of things right when games were trying to be 3D.
I think it's also still the only game that has a perfect score on Metacritic.
Really?
Out of all games, it's a perfect 100. Yeah. Metacritic just compiles everybody's, or lots of different reviews. But, so looking back at the list, I want to put Dead Space in there.
Ooh,
You talking about Resident Evil 4 reminded me of Dead Space. I played Dead Space for the first time probably in like 2016, 2015 maybe.
Yeah.
So I would maybe put that like between Metroid Prime and Undertale. I'd probably put it at. So I'd go Ocarina, Metroid Prime, Undertale, then Dead Space, and then I'd have to knock down Roller Coaster Tycoon probably, just because I did play that game more as like a hobby. It wasn't super special to me in any way. It was just something I really liked. So I think that deserves an honorable mention. So Ocarina, Metroid Prime, Undertale, Dead Space, and then Banjo-Kazooie. I forgot about Banjo-Kazooie.
It's hard. It's hard to put down into 5.
So many. Yeah. Anyways, there's a lot. But
yeah, I'll throw out Deadly Premonition,
there you go.
Evil Within 2, and Mystical Ninja starring Goemon, which came out before Ocarina of Time. Amazing.
All
music,
games I've
fun
never
characters.
played, unfortunately, but
dude,
I just never had a PlayStation growing up, man. Just never. I played Chocobo Racing on PlayStation because my cousin had it.
Mystical Ninja's on N64.
Oh, okay.
So I could.
That's right.
Lend you my sacred cart if you are interested.
I mean, I have my N64 hooked up right now, so I can play it. But
all right.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, hell yeah, it was.
This was a lot of fun.
There's a
part of me almost wants to edit that part to the beginning of the podcast, just because might draw more people in.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I did
But
stumble a little bit in the beginning.
no, I mean, no, it's not because of that. I just mean topic wise, like, you know,
Hmm.
I want this to be an entertaining podcast, but
Yeah,
we'll
that's
see
true.
how it turns out. I mean,
Well, we
this is
have,
a this is
yeah,
our first run, so
yeah, we have some fat
yeah,
to trim. We got some edges to sand.
yeah,
So
right.
we'll
Edges
we'll
to
discuss
sand.
that off
Yeah, yeah,
off
off the air.
off the air. But other than that, yeah. Any final thoughts?
Cool, man. I don't think so. I mean, yeah, I'm looking forward to paying a little more attention to the gaming news these days
Mm.
because uh, a lot of it falls through the cracks because I get pretty busy.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
um,
Do you have like a game on the back burner that you're
you
gonna?
mean like that I want to play or that I've started and need to finish, like that kind of
what's
thing?
what's the one
Yes,
that
I
first
do.
comes in your
I
head? You're
do.
gonna jump into the.
Yeah. What's it called? Kena Bridge of Spirits. Did you play
Cool.
that?
Yeah, I have it. It's on my back burner too.
I started it and I got probably a few hours in, and I got distracted and I can't remember what distracted me from that game. But
Life.
it might have been Halo Infinite actually.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, that's kind of when that game was like my brother was like hitting me up every night, like, dude, we're playing, come on. And I'm not that great at Halo Infinite, but I do enjoy it.
Halo
So
Infinite is
no,
good.
I got to go back to Kena because I was really digging that game. Um, but yeah, I'm just looking at our kind of rundown for what we were going to go over, just to make
Mhm.
sure. Did we talk about the Annapurna Direct at all? Did we miss that one?
That one was about like 2, 3 weeks ago,
Okay.
so I just skipped over it.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. No, I think we're
we can
good, man.
always hit up Annapurna whenever, but
Yeah, I'd say let's wrap it up.
yeah, my final thoughts is I'm very excited to finish up Final Fantasy VII
Oh
DLC,
yeah,
um,
awesome.
Enslaved, and then I've also started up Mythic Quest, which is a cool TV show written by Charlie
Oh,
Day and
Charlie Day.
Rob McAlphin. I can't pronounce his name, but
Okay,
it's just about a bunch of people working in a game studio, and
cool.
their game Mythic Quest is like this MMORPG and all the
Oh,
shit that goes wrong.
it's a total okay. I think I have heard of this now that you're
It's
describing it.
it's
Yep.
fun, and it also like pokes fun at some of the garbage in the gaming industry, like streamers
Yeah,
and their loud ass intros,
that's funny. Yeah.
testers getting no appreciation whatsoever.
Good morning to you.
You what?
That was my weak Jacksepticeye impression.
Oh,
Good morning to you. Right? You know who I'm talking
I'm
about, right?
sandbagging you super hard right now. No, I know of him. He's a
Oh my
popular
God, dude.
YouTuber.
Jacksepticeye? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
No, I watch some of his clips now and
yeah.
then. Man, I am watching. I just finished rewatching the entire Stranger Things, all 4 seasons.
Holy shit.
Because I was a big fan of season 4, so I'm like, dude, I have to go back and watch. Well, actually, it was because season 4 came out in like 2 volumes. I don't know if you watched, but
Yeah, I finished it.
okay, all right, good. Season 4 made me cry like 10 times,
Dude.
separate times.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but
Uh,
that running scene
yeah,
with that one character, ooh,
yeah,
that
dude.
was rough.
Um, yeah, but like when the first volume ended, I'm like, oh, I need to rewatch the other ones while I'm waiting for the final volume, like last few episodes to come out. So I
Mhm.
did that. Oh my God,
The emotion.
Chrissy, wake up! Yeah. So
All right, let's
cool.
wrap it up. Thank you for
Cool.
anybody and everybody, everybody and anybody who listened.
Yeah,
This
we
is
appreciate you.
peace.
Peace out. Keep it real.